Hi everybody and welcome to our third video. We're currently in Myanmar and we want to show you some impressions why Myanmar is an absolute stunning place and why you should visit it before it's too late.
Okay, so let's jump into this video. So we spent the last 10 days here in Myanmar, also formerly known as Burma, and we started in the south of Myanmar in Yangon, traveled over to Bagan, and then now we're here in Mandalay at the north of Myanmar.
Exactly, so we both think Myanmar is a super interesting country, not only due to its really rich history and culture, but also because all destinations are completely different and you get to see a big variety of the country. So Yangon and Mandalay are the two biggest cities, with Mandalay being the capital of Myanmar. They're both completely different, however in both cities you can feel that there's the main religion is the Buddhism that you can actually feel throughout the entire country. So Yangon is the biggest city in Myanmar and it's also the economical center. We arrived in Yangon because it was the easiest way to fly from Malaysia, and we only stayed for a few days actually. There's a lot of, it's well known for its pagodas and architecture, so you have lots of very cool places to visit. And also we stayed in Chinatown, which is a very cute area with very great hostels, and it's super safe to walk around, get street food at night, and it's a very buzzing, lively city, which we didn't expect.
After Yangon, we took the night bus from the bus station in Yangon over to Bagan. It takes around 10 hours. Compared to the train, which you can also take, where you get a more local feeling. But the downside there is that it takes 17 hours compared to the bus for 10 hours. So yeah, we traveled by bus to Bagan, which is actually quite a small town with around 4,000 temples and pagodas. And this actually was our favorite destination from Myanmar because it's still super local and you get to rent an e-scooter and you can drive around and discover all these places and temples by yourself.
Exactly, so the temples are all very spread out, and there's, if you're in Bagan, download Maps.me where you see all the different temples that are in the area. And unfortunately most of these temples have been shutting down since the beginning of 2018. So usually you were able to walk up to the temples. They can have up to 7th floors. And now locals start shutting them down as they don't want to have tourists climbing up these temples anymore. However, if you do your research a bit, you can find some temples with locals guiding them, and they actually give you a key where you can secretly go up the temples and and benefit from a very nice view, especially during sunrise and sunset time.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the challenge for everybody, to find a temple for sunrise or sunset where you can actually go up. If you're not traveling on a tight budget, you also have the possibility to rent a hot air balloon. It costs around $200 or even more. As we are backpackers, we didn't take this opportunity because it's too expensive, but it's also nice to view from the temples itself, especially in the morning for sunrise.
Exactly. I think the most magical part of whole Bagan is although they do have tourists and it attracts quite a lot of tourists, compared to any other countries there's barely any tourists, and most of these temples you actually by yourself. So definitely one of our top destinations so far.
We believe that in 5 years there's going to be way more tourists compared to now, so we recommend to visit Bagan rather now than in 5 years, to still get like this local feeling, and which is not over touristy yet.
So after our stay in Bagan, we took a minibus to go see Mandalay. It's about a good 5-hour ride, and in general in Myanmar most roads are very bumpy, so it's not the most comfortable thing, but it's very fast, efficient, and in general, all the people are very lovely. So far in Myanmar, people are very time precise, so they leave on time. They usually arrive on time. However, with this minibus, give it some more time because it's a very local way of transportation. So they do pick up locals on the way, and actually
They also deliver parcels on the way, so
Exactly.
it's not only a bus for travel but also for transport.
in fact, so they go around all over the country.
In Mandalay, we stayed in the old town, and here it's also again it's super local, and you're not going to find a lot of tourists except on the tourist destinations. So it's totally different to all the other places, for example in Thailand or Bali. And our favorite part here was to take the boat on Minigan Chetty to see the temples at the other side of the river, and so this is one recommendation which I can give you.
Another very good sightseeing spot is the Mandalay Hill. You have a great view over the entire city. You can see how green actually the entire country is. And it was also for us quite a unique experience because we were basically the only two tourists walking up there for a good half an hour when we expected a huge crowd of people. Otherwise, there's lots of different pagodas and temples to see, which names we probably cannot pronounce properly, but just do your research and you'll find lots of amazing architecture in the city.
So to look back at the last 10 days here in Myanmar, I think it was a super unique destination in our backpacking trip because it really feels like there's no over-tourism yet, and it also feels like you're one of the first ones, even though sometimes you see that they already got used to the tourists, but still you really have like this local feeling, and I think this is the most special feeling about Myanmar.
My personal highlight of Myanmar are the people. I think the culture and the people are pretty amazing. They're very friendly, helpful. They do put a lot of honest effort in welcoming the tourists and guests in their country, and I think it's one thing that was missing in the other destinations we've seen so far.
So in a nutshell, you should visit Myanmar rather now than in 5 years, because now you still have this local feeling, later it might be gone.
So thank you very much for tuning in, guys. If you're curious to see where we're heading next on our world tour and what's happening, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. See ya!
Bye!